This is 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. Giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. A sincere Shalom, Labakarium, Shah Yasha'Allah. That's peace to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. And this is what we're going to have to do right now. Akim Akwath out there. Because the winds are coming. The destruction. The disaster. When the only thing you're going to have left is this fire right here. So there's two fires burning. The fire of fear and then the fire of faith. And that faith is not given to everybody. That's only given as a gift to the elect. This is Ephesians 2 verse 8. For by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not of your own doing. It is the gift of Yahweh, not a result of works, so that no one may boast. So this faith was given to us. This is an added on addition. It's one of the most important parts to this ministry, because Paul makes it clear here that without it, it's impossible, and I mean impossible, to please Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. This is Hebrews 11 verse 6. And without faith, without this fire, you cannot remain in this ministry, going through the trials and tribulations of serving Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, where the persecution is about to start. You're going to have to give up everything. That may include your family. You got to give up your worldly reputation. You got to give it all up. These are requirements of the Lord when you come to serve him. Prepare thy soul for temptation. There's no way you can make it through this without the faith, because we're trying to prove ourselves to the Lord. But it's impossible. And the Lord means it's impossible. And without faith, it is impossible to please him. You cannot please Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. And what's the main test that's coming? The mark of the beast. When we're going to have to literally give it all up real soon. We got to turn our back on everything in this world. All your things that make you comfortable, we got to turn and trust in this fire. This fight, and it's aggressive. And the Lord going to turn that faith up. We don't know how high the level go, but we got the example, Yahweh Shah, and we got the disciples and the rest of the good men. The rest of the prophets as good examples. When the Lord turned that faith up to a level, the world can't stand it. And the world is not ready for what they're about to see. With the men of the Lord, the world, they think they ready, but they not ready. This faith is very, very aggressive. It's a monster that the Lord has stored inside the secret chamber, inside the soul of his elect. And without faith, without this monster, without this fire, it is impossible to please him. For whosoever would draw near to Yahweh must believe. And this is what the faith does. It opens you up to the belief of the resurrection, that our Lord came back from the dead. It opens you up to the second coming of our Lord. It opens you up to the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. You can't ask someone in the world to believe in that. This opens you up to the kingdom to come. Those without faith, this is not a conversation for you. You can't convince yourself of this. You can't just kick in the door and enter into this. This is a special invitation for the elect. And we have something very serious, a serious weapon, which is a shield. This faith is a mechanism to block off the doubting demon. And that's what Esau want to do. They want to gaslight us. They want to create this doubt that we don't know what we're talking about, that the kingdom is not coming, Yahweh Shah is not returning, and that we will remain here a prisoner to our enemies. But with this faith, this faith has awakened the elect at this time. So I'm going to read it again. And without faith, it is impossible to please him. You must remember that. This is the most important thing in planet Earth right now, is this faith. For whoso will draw near to Yahweh must believe that he exists and that he rewards those that seek him. So these are the examples of faith. Let's go into one, because this is what the enemy, he want to draw out that doubt, that double, thinking. Okay, maybe not. And an example of that was when Peter wanted to walk on the water with our Lord Yahushua, and he started performing the miracle. He was on the water walking. Then the danger came, and his flesh, that other fire, which is that fear, that's another fire now. That fear is strong. It's going to make these people receive that digital all, which is that RFID chip, because they scared. These people walk around in fear every day. Fear of losing their children, fear of losing their life, fear of losing their job. Just fear. This is the world the Lord pulled us from. So they look at us like we crazy. We don't worry. That's why Isaiah 33:6 is in there. Knowledge and wisdom should be the stability of thy time. But what's keeping you stable? That faith that this ain't the end for us. This is only the beginning, and it gets better from here. But this is Peter here. This is Matthew 14:28. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahushua. But when he saw the winds bolstering, it's the trouble that came in. And them winds came strong. They are damn near in the middle of whatever ocean they was in. The waves and the wind started picking up the sound of the waves, the noise. Peter probably realized, hold on, I'm not inside the boat for safety. And this is what the devil want to try to do with us. Hold on, you out of your comfort zone. You're not inside your ship. You're not inside your boat. What are you doing out here? But that's when the faith going to take over. The Lord going to turn it up. So it says, and began to sink. He cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, why didst thou doubt? And that's the word I want to focus on right there. The doubt. And that's that doubt demon. That guilt trip. Blessed is he that's not overwhelmed with his sins.
Strong's G 1365. Distazo.
Distazo, which is to waver. To waver. Now when something waver, right? This is waver. An act or instance of waving from right to left. This is another waver, right? Rejection. Disannul. Let's see here. Refusal. And that's what's actually going to happen. Refusal. If you have a waiver that you give out as a waiver of refusal. But this is a back and forth. This is that doubting demon. In the end, ultimately, what the Lord say about a man that's lukewarm in his truth, you will receive that waiver of refusal. But this is a double-minded man. So we don't want to be in this instance where this trouble start and you haven't recognized that you got this fire burning in you. This fire of belief. Because you need this to even remain in this truth. That's why I tell you this here, Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped, the conviction of things not seen. So you need this just to be in this truth. We don't see Yahushua right now. We don't see the new bodies right now. But why do we believe in it? Because the Lord has stored in us this spirit. And it's a spirit. And it's an aggressive spirit of faith. But there's also another spirit. And this is a spirit that we want to get away from. This is 2 Timothy 1:7. For Yahweh hath not given us the spirit of fear. So there's another spirit burning. And that spirit of fear is on brothers that's in this truth. They really afraid. And when the trouble starts, the troops come in, when they got to stand boldly before councils, hey, you may be accused of doing something you ain't do. When you lose your job, when they present you with that MOTB, when you hear the call for WW3, World War III, and you start to get nervous because now it done got intensely serious, and you know you've been bullshitting and playing around with this truth, that's when this other fire gonna kick in into your gut. You ain't gonna be gifted with this spirit of faith. For Yahweh hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power. But we, and I pray, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, he keeps this spirit on me, and he give me more. He give me more. We want to have that mustard seed. We want to be that tree. We want to be that mustard seed. Give me that seed because it grows into one of the biggest trees. So I need that mustard seed. We need that mustard seed because that's the power. That's how we make it through to the other side. For Yahweh hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And this is what the men are doing right now. We're cleaning the junk out of our system. Hey, the Lord said, if thy right eye offend thee, cut it off. Meaning you might have to get rid of people that's around you, weak brothers that's in your camp, and the weaknesses that's in your flesh. If it's no good, like that spirit of fear. You got the spirit of doubt. You doubting this, you doubting that. Is this fully the truth? At a time like this, when it's about to get very exciting, then you need to check yourself because you got the wrong spirit on you. This is Romans 8:15. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage. And that's what that fear does. You know, it puts you back into this world, back into the simplicity of this world, might I add, because this world is going nowhere fast. It already lost. The Lord has already condemned this world. So this faith keep us, we're able to see further. We're able to see into the future with this faith, while these people cannot see afar off. For you have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear. And that's what the bondage, that's what it does. And you got some brothers they came into this truth. They had some of the oil, then they lost it, or maybe they never had the oil at all. And now they back into the bondage, they back into the fear. For you have not received the spirit of, it says, for ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. And that's using the names. This is 1 Corinthians 2:12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, which is to fear. These people are fearful of everything. That's why they make the moves they make out here. The moves that the people are making right now, they're not even thinking. They just acting as an animal. That's why they're called natural brute beasts. And you have men like this that's in this truth too. And they're going to pop out one by one, two by twos, because they don't belong up in this truth. Because they don't have the spirit of faith. It ain't burning. That monster ain't burning in them. They got this other monster burning, which is the spirit of bondage, the spirit of fear. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Yahweh. That's the faith. That's the gift. That faith is directly from the right hand of the Lord. That fear is from the left hand side. That's Esau. Why did he give up his birthright in the first place? He feared he was going to die. He feared he was going to die. He ain't eat all day. And that's how Esau is rolling now. They scared of everything. These elites are totally afraid of the future, especially listening to the men of the Lord. But we're not rolling in fear. We're not held down to our mistakes that we have done, that we may do in the future. We becoming more confident, and all that is because of the faith. The Lord has not let us down. That spirit is growing heavy in the earth until the faithful are going to take over this place. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Yahweh, that we might know the things that are freely given, which is this knowledge. this doctrine. The Lord hath given this freely to us through the Spirit. And it's coming from the fourth dimension, the throne of the high priest, who is Yahushua. But you can't receive this understanding if you're in a spirit of fear. There's going to be something that's going to stumble you and block you. The bitter of the word is going to block you off from growth. But this is gushing water for us. The Spirit is constantly flowing. What's that? St. John 7:38. It's a constant river. It's a constant waterfall. And it's freely given to the faithful. So it says, might know the things that are freely given to us of Yahweh. So that's the spirit we in. We in the spirit of fear. And we got to say, call Allah, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah for that. And that the Lord keep that spirit on us. This is Romans 10 verse 17. So faith comes from hearing. And that's that word given out freely from our apostles, a great millstone, our bishops, our elders, a great millstone, the leaders of this thing. Right? These videos going out, the testimonies that's going out, the ministry that's on the street. The Lord had made it. He unpacked this planet Earth with his understanding at this time. And that faith starts to grow the more that you hearing, the more that you getting involved, the more that you reading. Blessed is he that readeth. This is how you flourish. This is how the faith grows. So Romans 10 and 17. So faith comes from hearing, and hearing through the word of Hamashiach. This is 2 Corinthians 5 and 7. Once again, for we walk by faith, not by sight. So we got to remember this as we coming into this time. Use the beast that's in you. It's there to be utilized, but know that you have that in you. And that fear is to separate you from Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. And the faith is to join you to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, which is the weapon. And use the names Yahweh and use the name Yahweh Shah on the regular. This is Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in Yahweh. And that's what that faith does. It creates a trust level. Because faith is trust. Now, these people, they trust and they fear. They've been rolling in fear so long, this is what they operate in. So we don't worry about the fearful and unbelieving at this time. This is only for the faithful, and that's all you want around you. That's all I want around me. We don't want the fearful around me. That spirit tends to jump. We want the faithful. You want to stay hot. Like-minded brothers flock together. So trust in Yahweh with all your hearts, and do not lean unto your own understanding. That's your flesh. We fighting to stay in the spirit. But we got to use our weapon, our shield to block off the sly tricks of the devil, man. So trust in Yahweh with all thy heart. Do not lean unto your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him. So that's everything we do. This ministry don't stop when you finish camp and you done your lessons, whether it's 2, 3 for the day. And it's a constant battle. And we battling and we try our best to flow in the spirit when we sleep. Even though gloves are off, because we in the spiritual world when you go to sleep. But we praying that the angels are around our bed, the angels around our house. You ain't going to bed listening to no rotten hip-hop music. You know, we trying to do the right thing. And that's what it's about. So this is the spirit we in. So I'm going to end it right here. Proverbs 3 and 5, once again. Trust in Yahweh. You can only do that with the faith. With all your heart. And do not lean to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him. And he will make straight your paths. And how we remain on this path? Through the spirit. Through that monster that's in you. That's that faith. Giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakahak Wadash. Double honor to the elders, the great millstone who taught me this truth. A sincere shalom, labakarium, shal yasha Allah. That's peace to the hopeful.